Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So I had one of my subscribers reach out to me and he asked me to give my opinion on the Kevin Love situation, the whole like fumbling the basketball, getting kind of like frustrated and in a way throwing a bit of a temper tantrum against the Toronto Raptors. So I will say I saw like the basic, I saw the motion of him doing it. I did not see like what led up to that, man. So I'm going to check that video out and give you guys my opinion on just like why I think Kevin Love did that. And, really, I think there's some underlying reasons, some things that really happened in the NBA this season, not necessarily to Kevin Love, but just kind of like circumstantial that might lead up to this point. So yes, before we get going on this video, if you guys don't mind dropping that like, 1,000 likes is always the goal, especially if you like these NBA discussions. These type of videos, man, I know they're not 2K or anything like that, but when you do show the support on it, it really does mean so much, man. Just trying something different, trying to branch out, trying to get outside my comfort zone, and trying to do something else over here on the channel at times. So thank you all so much for the support on these type of videos. Okay, so let's check this out here, man. Let me move my camera over here real quick. Okay, so the first thing I'm seeing is the score is 74-70. So I mean, they are losing. It's not like a blowout. It's the damn end of the third quarter. It's not like it's the fourth quarter where he would get frustrated. Is that Stanley Johnson in the corner, man? Yes, it is. He gets a PT. Damn, bro. Clutch time right there. Okay, so, yeah, I guess that can be the only reasoning is that maybe they had like a leader or whatever. So let's check this out and see what's going on exactly. There's Kevin Love right there. Okay.
Lead San Antonio at home by 3.
Okay. Going in. Broke-ass defense. Looking at the referee like something happened. I don't really I don't see what he would be mad about right here. I mean, he got beat. Kevin Love didn't get beat. The defender got beat over there, but okay, going around, going up. It's not a foul. Just made the layup.
Malachi on the drive.
Okay, he got a little push in the back right there. Just a little. That is nothing. That right there is literally nothing, man.
Malachi.
Maybe a little something. Maybe a little Kevin Love threw an elbow or something at some point, grabbing a rebound, and he didn't like it too much. Okay. Yeah, look at the ref, very angry.
Well, a lot of excitement here in the neighborhood of the Raptors, right? Both the Wizards and the Bulls. And
Stanley Johnson doing some stuff. Oh, assist for Stanley. Okay. They didn't really show it right there. Hopefully there's a replay or something.
Cold-blooded. Fred VanVleet, you see him in the back of your screen.
Do we get a replay on that?
That's a VanVleet play right there. Big play.
Okay, what's going?
Flynn getting a hand on the ball.
Kyle driving on Love, gives it back to
Okay.
Fred.
Yep.
He is fouled.
Love between the two. No pun intended.
The patience, hooking up his big there, putting him in a position to get fouled.
Okay, so it's right here. Okay, right here. Okay. Yeah, I don't get that. That's just disrespectful towards your team, man. Like Garland's out, like, what the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah, I think he was batting it like batting it down to grab it, and
no, he was throwing a damn temper tantrum. Like that's just uncalled for.
Hooking up his big there, putting him in a position to get fouled.
Take one more quick look at it, man. Yep, mad right there.
Just good hustle. What is Kevin Love doing?
Ridiculous. In my opinion, there's no excuse for that, man. There's no excuse for that whatsoever. And to be quite honest, like, okay, let me get into it, man. Okay, first off, let me talk about how Kevin Love's doing on the Cavaliers this season. As we all know, the Cavaliers had a great start to the year. That's when Kevin Love was actually injured and stuff. I remember, Sexton was obviously a thing. Larry Nance was a damn triple-double machine to start the damn season. Like, that was all really nice and everything. And Kevin Love on this season, not really played that much. Played 18 games, averaging about 11, 12 points per game, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Doesn't really play much defense. Shooting about 39%, 40% total field goal percentage, 33% from 3, which is, my guess, probably right around a career low for him. In my opinion, just like, okay, I still think Kevin Love's a good basketball player, okay? I don't think it's, I honestly, man, I hate to say it because I'm going to sound like a salty Piston fan talking about this, but I feel like Kevin Love is radiating based off of what happened with Blake Griffin and the Detroit Pistons this season, right, man? So, I, for one, I know it's only small market teams complaining about this, which is fine. If my team was a big market team or whatever, then I would be happy getting a whole bunch of, former all-star players, while other small market teams take on the contract. But in my opinion, man, it goes to show the radiant effect of the buyout market and the kind of the problem that is in the NBA, okay? Back in the day, you would sign a contract, and you would play through that contract. Now, if you didn't want to play through that contract, okay, you could show frustration and you would get traded. We are now like in this new type of era where you no longer, where a team no longer has big time power to trade away that player, especially with a very large contract. You know, like I said, man, Blake Griffin, LaMarcus Aldridge, guys like that. So what's going on right here essentially is Kevin Love, it feels like about 10, 20 years ago, man, that he damn signed that $30 million per season contract. Like, when's that contract up? It's got to be soon, right? Is it this season or next season, whatever? It's got to be soon, because I've been hearing, like, Kevin Love to the Portland Trailblazers for damn about 7 years now, so I don't know what's going on there. But we were kind of hearing those rumors before, and then Kevin Love signed, like, a 4-year, $120 million contract. It was something like, maybe it was 5 years, 150, something like that, man. But regardless, like, that was after LeBron James left. That was after, like, he got his payday. He knew the team was going into a rebuild. Like, you want a prime example, like, look at LeBron James when he left to Miami. Like, that team was in a rebuild, right? So he knew what was going to happen with that, man. So now he's at this point, I guess, where he's just super frustrated about the circumstance that he is in. And the Cavaliers are like, I mean, I hate to say it, but they're saying, screw you, Kevin. Like, we're not going to buy out your contract and stretch it out for multiple seasons and hurt our personal rebuild. Like, because for them, it's not, there's no winning circumstance. It's like, okay, well, you know, Kevin Love, it's like we buy out that contract. It's like, that's still money that we have to take on. And I kind of respect that. I mean, there comes a circumstance, too, where sometimes it's better to, like, move on with the rebuild and stuff like that. And you want to get those players out of the locker room just because it allows other guys to grow. I felt like that was kind of the circumstance with Derrick Rose and Blake Griffin. Now, obviously, Derrick Rose wasn't bought out. He was traded. But, you know, even watching, like, Killian Hayes, I feel like Killian Hayes felt less pressure once it was just him and a whole bunch of young bloods out there, as opposed to playing with D Rose and Blake Griffin, which both those guys I'm sure helped out his game to begin the season. But, you know, at the same time, it's like, is D Rose going to yell at me or whatever? So I think Kevin Love's in a circumstance where he saw Blake Griffin's contract was bought out and he gets to go play on the Brooklyn Nets and, you know, play his damn 20 minutes per game and still get paid that Detroit Piston money and contend for a ring and everything like that. And Kevin Love's in that same circumstance where he's like, well, if I hold out long enough, you know, maybe I'll get that too. Maybe I'll still get my payday. And I'll go to like a contending team or whatever, right, man? And because you gotta think about it from this circumstance too. Like, let's say hypothetically a few seasons ago, Kevin Love signed that, you know, multi-million-dollar contract to join the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay, well at that point, you know, maybe they would not have had enough money to go for like an Anthony Davis or whatever, man. Or maybe they would not have had enough money to, you know, throw at some other like key role players like a Montrezl Harrell or Dennis Schroeder, you know, guys like that, man. So what you're able to do is you can sign that big contract with the rebuilding team, you know, get bought out, go to a big-time contending team who still has those top-notch players. You can sign for the minimum, right? And that's a big-time issue, man. That's a big-time issue. So, in my opinion, like, don't sign the contract. And I know that's easier said than done, especially when you have a very injury-prone history like Kevin Love does. Like, obviously, you want to get paid your money. But at that point, it's like you chose, you know, you chose the money. I mean, Carmelo Anthony did the thing, did that many years ago with the New York Knicks, man, where, you know, he could have went somewhere else or whatever. I forgot the exact circumstance of it, but he signed like this really large contract, and there wasn't really enough money to bring in other guys or whatever. Or at the time, like the Knicks just weren't very good or whatever, and that was the circumstance then. So this is my opinion, man. I am not totally against the buyout market. I feel like the buyout market, you know, there is certain circumstances where it makes sense, right? Like if a guy just doesn't fit, you want to buy him out, go for it, right, man? But at the same time, too, there's something to be said about, for one, Kevin Love not giving it all to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, we're not stupid at this point, right? Like, it was the same thing with Blake Griffin. Like, I think we can all admit that Blake Griffin didn't care on the Pistons. And why would he? The team's in a rebuild, and he don't want to get injured and stuff. So why give it his all? I mean, you can argue that, well, you're getting paid millions of dollars to do so. But, you know, I mean, it comes to a point where money just doesn't really matter anymore. It's just like a thing. It's not like a necessity to a lot of, people out there. Once you have so much of it, you almost become just, you like empathy towards the feeling of not having money or whatever, right, man? It's just like, that's just what you have. So, this is my opinion on how you fix the buyout market. And this is going to get, I'm going to get yelled at by big market teams because, like I said, they're in a circumstance, well, hey, like we're getting these dudes for free, essentially, right, man? So we're not going to take on any additional more. But how you essentially fix it is you allow a guy to get bought out, but you need some incentive for the small market team or whoever team's doing it to buy out that guy. So I think it's fair enough to say that the guy that he signs with or the team that the guy signs with takes on maybe not half. I feel like half might be a little on the high side. Maybe like a third of the salary, man. Just something to give incentive where it's like, okay, instead of Kevin Love getting paid, you know, instead of this $30 million contract being on the Cavaliers, you know, cap, they now get $20 million, and whatever team he goes to gets $10 million, and they got to pay that. And I think that's completely fair, man. You know, it gives incentive for the small market team to buy out the player because they're saving $10 million in the long run of things. And the other team, the big market team, typically we all know, you know, Nets, Lakers, teams like that, man. Like, they're not getting dudes for free, which is a problem. It really is. But I'm just one guy. I'm just one opinion about that, man. So, yeah, I think this right here, there might have been some other circumstances of Kevin Love acting this way, but I really think it was uncalled for. I really think it was completely uncalled for. Frustrations happens, but, you know, you're on a team here full of, you know, young guys in the NBA that, you know, Kevin Love got his ring with LeBron James. So these guys are trying to get better. These guys are trying to win games. These guys are trying to improve their game and, you know, show the confidence and stuff. So, that's just, I don't know, man, just kind of left a poor taste in my mouth. And I know that Kevin Love has like different like mental stuff going on at times. I mean, everybody does to some extent. So, you know, I'm not bashing him based off that. I don't think this was the case where just like it was like some sort of like mental thing kind of showing up with him. I think he was just simply frustrated, which, okay, I mean, there's a way to handle yourself professionally when you do that. So, I don't know, man. Just, if there's one thing I can kind of say about this video, man, is like, if you're given an opportunity, like, let's not take it for granted. I know there's always going to be somebody out there doing better than you or having a better circumstance. That's just how it's always going to be. In this case, Blake Griffin has his max contract with the Brooklyn Nets. Kevin Love has his with the Cleveland Cavaliers. But at the end of the day, like, gotta be grateful for your situation, and you gotta give it your all, man. So, I don't know. I really wanted to talk about this, and I thought he was kind of being a bit, most definitely unprofessional. So, you guys let me know in the comment section what you all think about this. Am I overreacting to this? Are we all overreacting to this? Is this really not that big a deal? Does it connect to the buyout market, or am I just, you know, reaching for straws, man? Which maybe I am. I could be reaching for straws. It's just the first thing that came to my mind. So that's all we got, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out, my friends.